Hi, Max Salazar, and welcome back to my channel where I read my book, Draconum Dawn, to you for free. All right, so continuing on with part one, we will be going on to chapter 15. If you happen to like this format, please click the like and subscribe buttons. Graciously help the algorithm so we can keep this going. All right, Sax. Sax slipped into the hall of his family's main quarters. His mother and clan elder, Loon, noticed that his golden robes were covered in dust and debris. As was their custom, he approached her and knelt until she acknowledged his presence. Satisfied of his subordination, she addressed him again. "Those robes are very delicate and cost me many credits. Why are they filthy?" Rising from his knees, he retorted, "Just doing as you asked. I'm having fun with Kira. I mean, the Supreme Chancellor." "Fun? This is not a game, child. If you wish to ascend to the seat of Clan Elder one day, you will need to have her at your beck and call, not the other way around." "Well, I believe that will require the two of us having fun. You want her to love me, don't you? But you had not better fall in love." She jabbed at his chest with force. "Your father was my conquest. She must be yours." "And where is my father? Off on another mission for you at one of the other clan sites, sucking up for you? Oh, wait, that's right. He's living in on that floating, desolate rock." Loon grabbed her imposing son by his wings without trepidation and lifted him off the carpeted floor, glaring at him with reddened eyes. "Do not question my orders, young one." Spittle flew out of her mouth and onto his now trembling face. "Your father does what is necessary for our future. Your future. And you know exactly why he is on Seln base," she thundered. But she only told him a half-truth. She told him that he was there to work in an administrative capacity. She kept the rest a secret to her son and husband. Sax thought of telling her that in the future he was simply in love with Kira, supporting her as Supreme Chancellor. He would not forcefully usurp her seat after marriage. He remained quiet. His mother was accustomed to getting what she wanted and demolishing anyone that got in her way. He looked down at his royal blue plumage, noting its unkemptness, opposite of the stately and well-kept red feathers of his elder. "Yes, mother." Back on the ground and submissive once again, he begged his departure. "Go clean yourself up and prepare for supper. And don't bother with formal attire. Elder Val has canceled his visit with us tonight. You have been reprieved for one more night. His niece, the Chancellor," she scathed, "will be joining him here tomorrow evening. I expect you to behave like a future elder, not a lovesick boy. Go now." Dejected, he went to his personal room, his shoulders sagging. He cleaned with UV far lights and pressurized air baths, and then selected an appropriate yet formal robe to sup with his mother. It was, per her liking, a costly acquisition, though not his finest. Thoughts of Kira flooded his mind as he dressed, thinking of the fun they shared and her innocence through it all. Their families had been allies for millennia, always working side by side, supporting and protecting one another when one of them held the chancellorship. And here he was, his mother's pawn. She wanted him to deceive his friend, the friend he was growing very fond of. She was the friend he knew he would fall in love with. He could never openly betray her, but his mother's influence was powerful. A high-pitched chime sounded, informing Sax that his mother was ready for his accompaniment for his repast. Just like their father, he promptly succumbed. His father, Metis, was his best friend and mentor. When he was around, that was. At his mother's insistence, he spent more than 3/4 of a stellar rotation away from him. Sax often thought this was punishment for him. Metis was gentle with him and used logic and love to nurture and educate him. He never struck him or even threatened him with punishment, let alone violence. Instead, he spoke to his son and taught him the way of their world. With Metis gone, Sax's education was left to his mother's strict ministrations. As the clan elder, Lune sat at the head of the table as was her custom. On her son's arrival, her eyes gleamed and her beak opened slightly in the way the Quet smiled. Sax took the seat by her left side and with one swift but gentle motion pulled it in towards the massive and gleaming obsidian dining table. Once seated, several servants erupted into the room behind the dispenser cart loaded with crystal plates piled high with delicately cooked meats and fruits. They scurried like ants, and within a few seconds they placed the food by each of the aristocratic birds and then departed. Crystalline pipettes filled with glacier water had already been served. Venison? I didn't think we synthesized it. Too difficult to get the texture and taste right. He remained optimistic that the problem had been finally solved. Deer meat was highly prized and difficult to acquire without detection. Of course it's venison, Sax. And no, it's not synthesized, she warbled. You should know better. As was her elder's nature, she carefully plucked her food with a well-manicured talon and gently deposited it into her mouth, where she allowed it to sit and slowly envelop her taste buds. Sax typically reciprocated her actions when in her presence, but for the first few bites of the tasty meat, he gorged it down. Thank you for the treat, Mother. It's always nice to have such a delicacy. And was meant for Vol. He canceled so that he could sup with the Chancellor. Again she scathed at uttering the word. Tomorrow night, he will have to endure synth meat. Just as well, your young friend Kira deserves as much. Under the table, Sax balled up a feathered fist and thought of slamming it down on the hard black surface. But he was hungry, and an outrage from him would result in missing out on a very costly and delicious meal. And it would cost him more than that. Absolutely, Mother. As always, you are correct. She is nothing more than a child. I will have her under my wing in no time. Satisfied at her son's change of heart, and with her food, as it was extraordinarily tasty, she warmly smiled at Sax. I am glad to hear that. Your father has a lot to learn from you. The utterance of the word father sent Sax reeling emotionally. Of course, he would never willingly harm Kira. His dad would have been disappointed in him if he did. But he had to steel himself. If he meant to protect Kira, he would have to gain his mother's trust first. All right, that's it for now. A nice short chapter. Again, if you like this format, please click the like and subscribe buttons, and we can hopefully keep this going for you. By the way, some quick updates. A second book is nearing completion. The story is done, but I still have to go back and do some revisions and add some material to it. Also, happen to be working on another independent book that's not sci-fi that I'm working on, maybe about 40 pages into it right now. No working title yet. And I spoke with my publisher, and there are some graphics being generated, so we are getting even closer to having this format change a bit. All right, y'all have a great one. Take care. Peace out.